Hi guys, welcome back. So today I've got another tutorial for you where we're going to be taking more inspiration from an awards website which I found. It's this developer here, so Diego. He's got a really nice effect, I think anyway, on his website. And you can see we're getting that kind of nice 3D blurred opacity transformation applied when we scroll down the website. So yeah, really nice. I really like this effect. So I tried to just basically recreate this with vanilla JavaScript. So here's my version here. So you can see when we scroll the page, I've just got 4 panels here and we're getting that kind of similar effect applied. Obviously I haven't got the same, well, I've just used some kind of boilerplate content here, but the main purpose of this tutorial is just to get that kind of effect going. This also looks really good, I think, on mobile devices as well. So if we come here, you can see I'm on a mobile, well, an iPhone 12 here, and we get the same nice effect applied when we scroll. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, guys, and let's just jump straight into it. Thanks. Okay guys, so to get started, you can see we've got the 3 usual files here. We have the index.html, the style.css, and an app.js file. We're going to complete the HTML file first, so I'm just going to emit some boilerplate code here, and then I'm going to link to the style.css in the header. So we'll just say style.css here, and in the body we'll just do a script tag with a source attribute and link that to the app.js file. Okay, and then I'm just going to rename the document panels, and then we can just open this in VS Code with Live Server. Okay, as you can see, here's our blank canvas now. So what we want to do in the body, we're just going to say we're going to have a section tag. And in this section, we're just going to have an actual div with a class called sticky. Okay, so .sticky. And what this is going to do, we're going to apply the position sticky attribute with CSS to this div, just so we can get this effect working. Okay, and then in this sticky div, we're going to have a div of a class of container. And then we're just going to say in here some content. So we'll just say, for example, for the first panel, we'll just have, the title of your website. I'll choose my name for now. And then under here, we'd have some content, for example. I'll choose some lorem text. We can also just, we'll add another paragraph as well. So I'll just do a breakpoint. And yeah, we'll have another p tag with lorem as well, like so. It's just to get some content going. Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate this section 3 more times, just so we have 4 panels. And I'm just going to rename the header for each of our panels. So for the second one, we'll just say about, this could be like a portfolio website or something like that. We'll say projects for the third panel, sorry. And then we can just say contact for the 4th panel. Okay, so there's our sections, 4 sections there. And that's pretty much it for our HTML. So not too much to do there for this. So if we come into the CSS next, and we'll just, first thing we'll do is just select our global settings. So we'll just reset the default margin as always to 0, set the padding to 0 as well. And we'll just say box sizing. Sorry, I need to change this just so I get my IntelliSense working. So in CSS, just say box sizing, border box. Okay, and then what else do we want to do here? We're just going to say, for our globals, we want to set the font weight. I'll say font weight, we'll set that to 400 just to make the text a bit lighter. And I just want to set the font family to sans serif as well. Okay, so that's looking good. Now, coming underneath this, next thing we want to do here is I'm just going to grab the HTML and the body, and we're just going to set the background color to we'll just say black, like so. Too many zeros in there. Okay, and we'll just set the color of the text to white for now in the global settings, just so we can see the text still. Okay, and then in here, I'm just going to set the height to 300 viewport heights. Okay, and this is we're setting this height just to get this effect working. You'll see why shortly. Okay, so we can scroll down 300. So that's basically, so 1 viewport height is the full length of the viewport here. So the full length of the browser window. So we've times that by 3 here, okay? So we come underneath, And we're just going to select our section elements next. And here we're just going to position these relative. And we're also just going to say a height of 200 viewport heights. And also we're going to say a width of 100%, like so. Okay, so yeah, that's looking good. Okay, next thing we want to do here is I'm just going to say, if we come underneath this, we're just going to use the nth child selectors next. So for the second section element, which is our, if we scroll down, it's this about section here. What we want to say is we want to take the top and we want to position that minus 100 viewport heights, just to bring that back up, like so, okay? And then we want to do the same thing for the third and fourth sections. So change that to 3, and I wanted to just increase that by 200 this time, okay? And then for the fourth, change that to 4, and we'll just we'll set that to minus 300. And with this fourth element, we want to just set the height to be 100 viewport heights, okay? Because we don't want to be scrolling any further once you reach. If this was 200 viewport heights, we'd be able to continue scrolling here, which we don't want. Okay, so that's it for our section elements. Next we want to do is just select the sticky element. Remember, we're going to give these all a position of sticky. Okay, so this what this sticky does, I'll show you shortly actually. We're just going to set the width of these to 100%, and then we're also just going to set the height to 100 viewport heights. And then also I want to say top 0. Okay, and then we're just going to say padding of 2em, like so, just to give it a bit of white space, you can see here. And 2rem, sorry, I'll do 2rem, not em. And then we'll just say border radius of 10 pixels, border radius 10 pixels. And I just want to say, actually no, we don't want to do the border radius there, sorry guys, do that on the container. And then we're just going to say, we just use a will change here. And what we're going to be doing here is applying changes to the filter, CSS property, and the transform. Okay, so what this does, this just optimizes the browser to perform. We're going to be using JavaScript to apply different filter settings and transformation settings, CSS settings. And this will just optimize any browser. This will change to carry out this task. Okay. So now come underneath this, the final section here is just a container. So we'll just say .container. And here we're just going to say a width of 100% again. We'll give it a height of 100% as well. And we'll give it a background color. And I just want to say here, give this a kind of an off-white color. So E2, 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 like so. It's more of a gray, kind of a light gray. And then what we're going to say here is a border radius of 10 pixels, just to give it a bit of a curve on the edge, on the corners there. And then we're just going to say padding as well. Say padding 1rem. I just want to change the color of our text now. I can remove that. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it. We can also just say overflow scroll. If we have any kind of overflowed content, which it doesn't really suit this kind of website really, you want to try and keep your content within the boundaries of the viewport, but just in case, we can always add this over scrolling just in case. So what you can see what this sticky does. So we set this position sticky to be a top of 0. So basically what happens is when we get to you can see I'm scrolling now and this isn't moving. Okay, this content here, but you can see the rest is. So you'll see when this about section gets to the top of the screen, it will stick there. Okay, and you can see that's other sections moving now. Okay, and then when we get to when the project section gets to the top, you'll see the about section starts to move. Okay, and that's why we've applied a height of 200 viewport heights to our section elements, because you'll see if we just apply a border on this, a border 1 pixel solid red, you'll see that goes up and then it will stick there. Actually, probably more clear if we showed you this on the sticky. Let's try that. I don't know if this will make it clearer. No, it doesn't really. Let's change the top to 10 pixels. You can see, so it stays there at 10 pixels from the top, and then when it gets to there, you can see it starts moving. Okay, so that's just the effect. That's basically how we can, what that sticky attribute's doing. It's just making the content stick there until the bottom of the parent container starts moving up. Okay, and then that's when the rest of the content that it contains will start scrolling up as well. Okay, so if we just take off that border, that's pretty much it for HTML and CSS. Now we just got to get this effect applied with JavaScript. Okay, so this blurred transformation. So if you come into our JavaScript file now, and then so the first thing we want to do with our JavaScript is just obviously get all the sticky sections. Okay, so each of these sticky divs here. So to do that, we're just going to say let sticky, say sections for now, equal, and then we'll just do the spread operator here in an array. We'll just say document.query selector all, and then we want to just select all elements with the sticky class. Like so, we need to add the dot there just to select all the classes. So if I console.log that, sticky sections, you should see that we get console an array of each of our 4 sections. Okay, like so. So that's good, that's working. Next one we want to do here is we're going to create an animate function. Okay, so we'll say function animate, and here we can say, so the first one we want to do is just loop through all of our sticky sections. Okay, so we're just going to say for let I equal 0, whilst I is less than sticky sections dot length. Then we want to increment by 1, so I plus plus. What we want to do for this is going to continuously run this animate function. We're going to use the request animation frame, which is built into the browser. What we need to do is just to translate this kind of blurred and 3D effect is we need to get the top of each sticky section's parent element. Okay, so you'll remember the sticky section parent element is the section itself. Okay, so come back to HTML. Here's a sticky section. The parent element will be this section tag here. Remember, we applied a height of 200 viewport heights to each of our sections. So what we need to do here is just going to say let, and we're going to say top equal, and we need to get the sticky sections, the one we're iterating on, and we just need to say dot parent element dot get bounding client rect. Okay, and why we're wrapping this top in curly braces is this will just basically destructure this top variable from this function here. This get bounding client rect function returns, a top attribute, a left attribute, a bottom. We only want the top just to work this effect. Okay, and then what we want to do now is work out a translation top variable. Okay, so we're just going to say let trans top, and that's going to equal, and we're going to say if the top variable that we've got here, if that is greater than 0, then we're just going to say question mark here. If it's greater than 0, then we want to leave the trans dot variable at 0. Else, using the colon here, we're just going to say top times -1. Okay, so if I just what I'll do here, I just say if I equals 0, so this will be the first element. We'll just say console.log top. Okay, and then what we need to do here as well, I just need to say request animation frame animate, and then we can call it out here. So we just say animate. Okay, so now you can see basically the top variable is 0 at the moment. When we scroll, you'll see basically the parent element of our sticky container here. You can see it's gone up to -1, well, down to -168. That means it's -168 pixels past the top of the viewport. Okay, so that's why we're getting that top number. Okay, and you'll see when we scroll back to the top, you can see it's set to 0. Okay, so now coming underneath this, so we've got our trans top variable. We're going to say if trans top is greater than or equal to 1000, then we'll just say trans top equals 1000. Okay, and then otherwise we're just going to say we're going to come underneath here and do another for loop. We're going to say if top is less than or equal to 0 and sticky sections.length and I is not equal to sticky sections.length minus 1. This basically we're doing this here because we don't want to apply this effect to the final the contact sticky section here. When we get to the bottom of the page, we just want to leave this here. We don't want to apply any more transformations to this. Okay, so what we're saying is basically if the top for this container is gone past the top of the screen and it's the first three, or it's not the last panel, then we're going to apply this transformation. So we're just going to say sticky sections I dot style dot filter and change that to style. Don't know why it does that. Style dot filter, and that's going to equal, and we're going to use the blur filter here. Okay, and what we're going to say is we're going to use a template literal. So we'll just do backticks. These are backticks wrapped for this string, and the template and what we want to do in this template literal will be 0 plus, and we want to take that trans top variable in brackets and times that by 0.05. Okay, and then we're just going to say pixels here. Okay, so now you'll see when we scroll, you can see we're getting that blur applied. Okay, and the only reason we're doing, I've kind of just like made it minimal here. If we do like, for example, 0.5, you'll see it just blurs out really quickly. So I've just made that a bit smaller by 0.5 and you'll get that gradual blur. You can make it even smaller if you wanted to. This might be too small now. But yeah, that's the sweet spot I found, 0.05. Okay, and then what else we want to do under here next is we're just going to say, I'm going to copy this actually, and then we want to change this to transform, not filter. And here we're just going to say we're going to use the scale 3D CSS styling. Okay, so we'll say scale 3D, and again we're going to use a template literal here, and we're just going to say 1 minus, again we'll take the trans top in brackets, and again we're going to times that by, this is going to be really small actually, we can say 0.001. And then coming out of this, so this takes in 3 arguments, the scale 3D. So we're just going to say for the next one, we'll say 1 minus trans top times 0.001, and then for the Z we can just say 1. Okay, so now let's see what that's done. Okay, have the scale 3D there. Why is that not scale 3D? Okay, so we have scale 3D, and then 1 minus trans top, and then okay, so I'm not sure that should be going smaller now. I'm not sure why it's not going smaller. No errors. Sticky sections I.style transform. Yeah, scale 3D. Let's see if it is actually transforming on the element. Okay, it's only applying the filter for some reason. So why is that? .style .transform. Let's save that again. Okay, I don't know why. I don't think I've not. I have no idea why this isn't working.
I don't understand. I have no idea.
Siri doesn't know either. Okay. Transform. This should be working. I'm not sure why. We'll get there. I'm not going to cut the video. Let's just let's keep going just to see if I can get these other sections to work. So we also want to change this style to the opacity as well. Start at opacity equals 1 minus transtop times 0.0015. Again, these are numbers that I just kind of come out with because it was just to get the sweet spot. It's a lot of experimentation really with this. Style.opacity equals 1. That should be minus. Okay, so we can see the opacity is working. It's just not doing that transform. Why isn't it doing that transform? I don't understand. It's scale 3D, is that right? Can we do that? Scale 3D. Let's just try on this. Transform. Scale 3D. Okay, I've obviously not entered this function right. That must be it. So we'll say, I'm just going to delete this. Okay, we're going to say scale 3D. Let's try again. All right, so template literal, and I'm just going to say 1 minus trans top times 0.001. Okay, and then basically when I finish that one, we want to do a comma and pretty much the same thing. So I'm just going to copy this. And then the final argument should be 1. Okay, it's working now. I must have had some kind of typo in that function, so sorry about that, guys. Okay, so now you can see we're getting that nice paneled effect now when we scroll. And when we get to the bottom, yeah, you don't get any kind of, unexpected behavior. This works really well, I think, on kind of all screen sizes, really. So you can see on quite a big viewport here. And then it's equally as good on mobile devices as well. So if I just show you, just refresh, I don't know, just got an iPhone or something. Okay, so if I scroll down, you can see, I think it's a pretty cool effect actually. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the little bug there. We got through it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next tutorial. Cheers.